found our wedding album in a box behind the stairs. You were 24, I was nervous. Both of us had better hair.
You wore your grandma's earrings, I wore my father's tie, and we promised in a church in June beneath the summer sky.
We were babies playing dress-up in those photographs we kept, kids pretending we could handle all the promises we'd make.
We didn't know the half of what those vows would come to mean. We didn't know the mountains we'd be climbing in between.
20 years of ordinary,
20 years of loud,
20 years of arguments,
and making each other proud.
and if someone asked me now if I'd go back and do it all,
I'd walk right through that chapel door and say the vows so tall. I'd marry you again, same dress, same day, same I do.
same terrified young kids
Who had no clue what they'd been through. I'd marry you before the fights, before the hospital, before the kids.
I'd marry you 1,000 times,
Because I still would, I still would.
I'd marry you the night we lost our first,
The worst of all the nights,
when you held me in the bathroom floor
and said, we're still alright. I'd marry you the morning that we took the baby home.
I'd marry you the minute you said
This is ours alone.
I'd marry you through chemo,
And the year you cut your hair,
through every time I wasn't brave enough
to really be there.
I'd marry you the Christmas morning
Dad passed in his sleep,
when you drove 4 hours in the snow,
so I wouldn't be alone to weep.
every version of you that I've loved is still standing in this room. The young one, the scared one, the brave one,
The one who bloomed
and if the universe gave me the chance,
to choose them all again,
I'd line them up and marry
every single one, my friend. I'd marry you again, same dress, same day, same I do.
same terrified young kids
Who had no clue what they'd been through. I'd marry you before the fights, before the hospital, before the kids.
I'd marry you 1,000 times,
Because I still would, I still would.
people think a wedding is a moment,
But a marriage is a verb
it's choosing every morning,
to keep showing up uncurved.
it's picking up the dry cleaning,
It's holding through the flu,
it's saying yes I'll stay.
when nobody's watching you.
And I have picked you every day in ways you'll never see.
The text I didn't answer,
The glance I saved for me,
the hand I reached across the bed to find in the middle of the night.
the quiet ways my heart said
Yes, this one always right.
Last night you fell asleep against me
On the reading chair,
Your hair is grayer now,
but I love the way it catches light like prayer.
And I thought about that June day
when we didn't know a thing,
and I realized
I love you more for every year that we've been here.
So if you wanna do it over,
I wanna say it all again.
I know a little chapel
and a pastor and a pen.
I wear my father's tie, you wear your grandma's string of pearls,
and we'll tell our grown-up kids that this is what forever earns. I'd marry you again.
with everything we know,
The scars, the gray, the wisdom, and the way we watched us grow.
marry you beside our kids with your
Same hands in mine. I'd marry you 1,000 times, and I mean it every time. Every single time. I'd marry you again. I'd marry you again.
20 years, 30 years, 100.
Still the same, amen. I'd marry you again, my love.